I'm joined by Kathleen Ethington,
That is correct.
who is the daughter of a pioneering women's basketball player.
Yes.
Kathleen, can you tell me a little bit about your mother's experience?
Oh, well, for Mother, it was a wonderful experience. She played from 1936 to 1940, and she was a sophomore at Baylor University with her two brothers. And both of her brothers were playing basketball on scholarship, but there was no basketball for women. So she started playing for Holt Sporting Goods stores there in Waco, and was made All-American or named All-American from the state of Texas for 2 years.
And her name is,
Her name is Katherine Kirkpatrick.
so Katherine Kirkpatrick, would have played for Kim Mulkey if she were in the present day. But what kind of player was she?
Oh, unbelievable player. In fact, I have to tell you, her two brothers really helped to make her the player that she was, because every day they shot 500 free throws from free throw range. They had to make 500 baskets in a row or they started all over. So Mother was uncanny with her ability. My uncle had a theory, Hubert Kirkpatrick, of muscle memory, which was way ahead of its time. He believed that if you did something repetitively from a certain distance with no interference, your muscles would remember that position. So they practiced and practiced that. So Mother was almost uncanny with her ability to hit the basket.
Yeah. And so she's playing for a team from 1936 to 1940.
Yes.
They didn't just stay here in the United States, right? They traveled
No.
all over the world.
That's right. They went to all states, and then Alaska and Hawaii were territories at that time. They played there, and then for 4 months, her last year, they were playing inter-island exhibition games in the Philippines, and you have to remember at that time they were an oddity. First, the women were quite tall. Most of the Filipino men were quite short, and here the women come in, and this was a tremendous, like eye candy, I guess, for everyone. But it was almost like a circus to come in because no one had seen women be able to handle a ball like this. So they filled the tennis stadium, which tennis was very big there in the Philippines, but they would literally, all the places they went, they filled. They became pretty much celebrities in the island. Again, no one had really seen that during that time. They mixed the ball play with their shooting. So.
But it was an unconventional escape, am I right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
They didn't leave the Philippines just on your typical charter flight.
No.
Tell me about it.
Well, the State Department had issued a warning for everyone American to leave the Philippines. So anyway, the women went to bed that night. They'd already discussed with the owner of the team, who was Olsen, a Swede, was there, and they had already discussed everything. The women get up the next morning. The owner of the team got himself off the island and left the women there. So here they were stuck, and they did have a Filipino sponsor. And my mother went to him immediately. His name was Pedro. And she said, you got to get us off the island. I mean, we need to get home. And it took a couple days. But anyway, what he did is he got a cattle boat with a minesweeper. He took the women out very quietly at night because at that time there were a lot of Japanese sympathizers in the islands. And he was very much afraid that there could come some very difficult times on the women just because of who they were. So he got them out very quietly at night, and then once he got them there, they left the islands on the cattle boat with the minesweeper. So that's how they left.
Amazing. That's why we're talking to each other today. What did it mean to you to have a mother who was a trailblazer in this way? What do you think it taught you about the way you lived your life?
Oh, goodness. Mother just never gave up. I mean, Mother, of course, came from that era. She was born in 1917, and she was just a can-do person, always positive attitude, and she was pretty much the cheerleader for the team. Now, when Mother was playing those first 4 years, the girls managed themselves. They didn't have a coach. So they did all the coaching, and I think they'd get together 2 or 3 weeks before the season would start, and they'd start playing. But that attitude, for example, I think people forget, when they first started playing, the attitude was women are not supposed to compete in sports. Secondly, they certainly weren't supposed to play men's teams and men's rules. So they did meet with a lot of opposition, especially that first year. I
And
mean,
they weren't supposed to win, that's for sure.
they were not supposed to win, and they won over 80% of their games. So when they would first go on the court, and they were very well schooled as far as the discipline goes, not to react to the crowd, but there were a lot of jeers and a lot of comments made because they shouldn't be out there playing, especially against men. That wasn't the ladylike thing to do. But in spite of all that, usually by the time that everybody realized that they came to play and they were beating the men, then the audience would turn on the guys and say, "You're not going to let a bunch of women whip you." So, but they also, in many of the towns, they had to have a police escort when they left the town. They would line for them to leave the stadium or the arena, wherever they were, to get to their bus, and then police cars would escort them to the county line.
Just remarkable. So when you see where the game is today, is it all the more striking for you because of growing up with these stories?
Oh, of course, because people have it very easy today. I mean, they don't realize somebody had to pave the way because there was no place for women in athletics. And all Mother wanted to do, as well as her teammates, they just wanted to play ball. They wanted that opportunity to play. And there was no opportunity until the All-American Redheads was formed. So that was really the vehicle. And then the fact that they played for 50 years. This is all before Title IX. This is all before any of that happened.
Just remarkable. Well, thank you so much for sharing.
Oh, thank you.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you.